We're just outside the town of Moorcroft. When this ranch was started, we had 8 pastures in it. And since '85, we started breaking those down so that we could control the grazing more. But we're up to 50 pastures in that same amount of ground. We're moving these cows every 3 to 5 days, watching what we're doing with the grasses and stuff. So that did increase our carrying capacity, and the ground has responded well. But then you have a dry year like this and it hits it even harder. It doesn't have that carrying capacity. But we're really fortunate in this area that our native grasses cure out well, and for the most part we can graze all winter long. Now here it seems like the last 10 years or so, the winters have gotten harder. On the average, you have some easy winters occasionally, but deep blanketed snow without wind in November, put about 6-8 inches on the ground, no wind, and then it warms up, lets that sink down to a hard crust, basically seals off all our grazing. And I thought it was an anomaly, but it seems to be becoming more consistent how our winters are coming along. It's hard to say what things were climate related or changes in weather type of thing, and how much is related to the practices that we're utilizing. But the changes that I can definitely say I've seen as a kid, when we would have a snowstorm come in, you figured 3 days. I mean, it would just hammer things for 3 days kind of deal before it's let up and moved through. And anymore, weather comes in, you got a day, it blows in a storm, and then it's moved on. And we used to have, 3 to 4 years of common weather before the cycle would change to from a wet cycle to a dry cycle or something like that. Now you'll have one of the wettest years you have, a great wet year next to the driest the very next year. So I don't know what's causing that, but it's just something I've noticed. At times it seems like we're fighting a losing battle just because we've got less rainfall, or when we do get a rainfall, then we get 95-degree days with a 25-mile-an-hour wind, and you don't get the use of that moisture. It's gone. But practices like increasing litter and that type of thing to keep the soil from capping and absorbing that moisture is something we're working on. But it takes a lot of ground anymore for a family to make a living. If we have to run more and more acres to a cow because of the lack of moisture and lack of vegetation, and still trying to keep that soil health going. So it's worrisome for the future of my kids and their kids, my grandkids, whether they're going to be able to make a living on a place like this. We hope that this is cyclical, but the jury's still out.